Good evening, and welcome back to some Stationeers. I've been struggling with my internet, which is why I haven't been streaming. And also, Fred is attending an event, so he's out for the weekend. So, I've been playing around, and I've got to figure out exactly what I screwed up here. Nope, that's definitely not the one. So, this is where I need to start. So I've been playing around and experimenting with some stuff just to see if I could do it without consuming an entire stream to do so. Because that, not exactly the most fun. So we are, no, we're not cycling anymore. Woohoo! Frame rate. We're going to save as before I forget. And actually, stream 36 is what we're going to save over. Because that wasn't actually a stream. And I just realized I left my headlamp on over there on the floor. It's funny. And what is going on with my frame rate? Hang on. Something is really wrong here. Alright. Stationeers loading up. We'll try this again and hopefully have better luck than 8 frames per second, because that was pretty rough. Pretty rough. Back in the day I could handle that, but I need at least 15 now. Okay, let's see what we get. Well, starting out with 30. That's a better start anyway, so glass sheets need silicon.
Hunger caution.
Drop that here. That's closed off. I need an active vent. I need a passive vent. Which you want to see on this one. Oh wait, I got one on my inventory. And that'll work. Okay, so. Okay. Drop that there. I don't know if I want to put a full-blown airlock in here, but I'm going to have sure. Area power controller and a nuclear battery. Glass sheets need silicon. Where are we at with the silicon? I think I can put the regular pipes down for the moment. For now. Stairs. I was going to go do something with the composter. That's a tool, get in there. That's a tool, get in there. Get that. I need one active vent. Controller, got that. Geometric walls. I'm going to grab 2 just in case. Sheets. I'm going to need steel sheets as well. And glass sheets as soon as I have the silicon to make it. Okay. Get in there. Now let's go ahead and make full stack. So one thing I do know is that I think this is on the same. I'm going to find out right quick. All right. Out already? Or no, I just got interrupted because of the cabling. There is a error in my code here. I did notice this while I was playing around. So let's turn you on. IC housing. This should be for the furnace. Import it. And edit it. So vent, exhaust, and heat. Yeah. Okay. So. Maybe I fixed it? Yeah, okay. So this might actually be correct. Although there is also this. I really should also do that. Okay. So. Yeah, I think this was fixed. Yeah, okay. So that was last time. But now it'll turn off the input as well. Door, that's if I do a full airlock. Okay, so I think I'm good here. Let's go ahead and... Did I? I interrupted that. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Not even gonna bother with console. So force open. So that'd be
Oxygen low.
okay. Save what I can. We want to set inward and set on, and we will go ahead and crank this out. You just put the area power controller in there. Other way. And we will just go battery free for now. Okay. And this will say world. No, it says room. Whoa. Turn those on, and we're going to window in front of the drill area, window in front of the drill area, window in front of the drill area. Okay, yep, there we go. The lights went out. We are no longer a room. So this one. Okay, I think that's all the windows I was going to use. Geometric walls. Yeah, it looks okay. Apparently I'm really struggling with the positioning here. Comes up. You'll be a T.
Hydration critical.
Go. And then we will do a straight. We will be there. No. My light should come on. Yep, there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and go. I don't know who needs. Plastic sheets. Okay. This should be airtight now. Should be airtight. Yeah, geez, that's probably not what I should have done, but alright, now we're just gonna go ahead and crowbar this open. And that should be good enough. Whee! Verify here. We are a room. Do have some pollutant. Do have some pollutant I need to deal with, but nothing too spectacular. Just got a little bit of extra carbon dioxide. Alright, so that's taken care of. Let's go ahead and go check and make sure Larry's not blowing up. Which, of course, he is. You're... What? Okay, well, first off, you're crashed. I don't even know how you're so screwed up. Position 11. That definitely is a position 11. Arm is obstructed. Arm is obstructed. Arm is obstructed. Arm is obstructed. Yeah, okay. I can see that the arm is... You know what? There's nothing in there. Is there anything in here? I don't know how I got this screwed up. Never seen this. Okay, so what do I need first? Hand drill. Let's see if just deconstructing it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. You were way over there. Yeah, and you're... Okay. Okay.
Hunger critical.
Alright, let's... Okay. Okay. Alright. There. Okay. Now we can eat some fries. Well, enough to satiate me for now. Okay, there we are. So, on my to-do list, I closed off the miners. That's what I needed. The other thing I need to do is check that I have a good way to keep the cooling line from having too big of a problem. So let's go with a AC 10. I don't need a chip, I need a housing. Sensor. I don't know if I want to take the laptop with me. Okay, thank you. There's a small itty bitty thing over here that I need to do. Actually, there's a couple things over here. Up to 4. So one thing I did notice is that I've got a chip here that should be in here. There we go. Ooh, we are chilly. What are we doing here? 27. Okay. So, pollutant. Actually, that's probably the easiest way to get there. Pollutant. I have it set to 8125 pressure. 1825. So, essentially, I could take it down all the way to negative 97. Now, there's a problem with this, I discovered. I'll show you. Carbon dioxide, that's my cooling thing. Goes to liquid. -8 degrees centigrade. So this can actually get too cold. What are we doing over here? Did I? No, I haven't. Okay. So I was experimenting with different ways of actually cooling this down, and I found that I can always throw more radiators up there and in series, and that actually is not a bad idea. But I can also put cooling onto the liquid pollutant pipes. So, what are we at? 311. Okay, that's a little spicy, but not too bad. 317, that's up there. 310, okay, you're not terrible. 302 is a little warm. Actually, not too bad. And, yep, okay. So, right now I've got a fairly high load. Problem's going to be is when this actually... Oh, it's not... You know what? It's not going to be sensor. It's going to be pipe sensor. When the temperature of this drops, then you start turning these off. Oh, I've only got 2 of these. Okay. Alright. So, more cooling. More cooling, more radiators. I played around with the large radiators. They're kind of neat, but they only work at night. If the sun is up, all it does is soak up heat. Which might be good for like a cheap, instead of using a pipe heater. But I would have to have a weather station and a way of dealing with that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to drop the door here. And since I need to, I'm going to drop a sensor here. There's there. Okay. So one thing we do need to have is pipe. Okay, yep, that's what I thought it would be over here. Why did you get turned off? That's interesting. Analyzer. Pipe analyzer. There we go. Okay. Switch. Actually, logic. It's not a memory, it's not a processor. I think it might be I/O. Okay. So I'll put the IC10 into the carbon dioxide filter. Let's take the opportunity here to check on the water supply. We're running a little warm, 30 degrees. 190. Okay, we are doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Nope. So it might be Logic IO. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Wait, isn't that what I just literally just made? that's what I wanted. It's the dial. That'll work. Okay, so the thought is that I can monitor the pipe, and if it gets too low, then I start shutting off coolers. So one thing I do need to do is grab some frames, which I don't have. So I figured out how to do an autocraft thing, which is pretty neat. There. Shoots. Shoots. Pressurized water pipe. Pressurized water pipe. I could pressurize water pipe. Got pressure it. Regulator. Let's grab that. And this will be just regular. Let's go do this real quick. So, right here, pressurant valve. Okay. What? That, and then down, straight in. Oops, oh, not crowbar. And this. Nope. Okay, so now we want to decrease. Let's increase to 20. There we go. So we're going to nitrogen prime this to 20 kPa, and that is just in an effort to make sure that it stays liquid. So if we check out water, 20 kPa, 40 degrees. So reasonably shouldn't get above 40 degrees. Which I must not have any nitrogen. Yeah, I don't have any nitrogen ready because it's too hot. Yeah, I also need to do some stuff here. Okay. So that's technically pressurizing the water pipe. And steam filter. Oh, yeah, there's what I wanted. Got the dial. Let's throw this in there. Need brown pipe. I have brown pipe. And then I think orange pipe. I don't happen to have any, but it doesn't really matter. And a volume pump. So let's actually swap the pressure regulator for that. Get me to my next step too. So I've got all these little to-do thingies. So in this case, we're going to put the infrastructure for the temperature monitor on the line right now. And we'll program it later. Analyzer. Okay. There's that. Okay, so now we have a pipe analyzer on the coolant line. IC10 housing. Yeah, we'll do that. Logic switch, I'm gonna set to there. So it goes Goes this way. Goes this way. Okay. So the dial. Okay, I want to set the dial to -5. And I don't know if I really need to. I really probably should put this on its own circuit, but this is worthless. This is absolutely worthless. So let's turn you off. You should be at empty. Turn you off. Okay. I don't necessarily need more brown pipe. But I'll take what I've got. And then we will swap with gray pipe. So this is the cold and the hot, putting it together if I really wanted to. Okay, that's a vent, that's a vent, that's a vent. We will... Yeah, why not? There's that. Grab that and power bill. Wrench. And atmosphere is good. Okay, got it. So this is ready to go. I'll open up this door indicating I don't have a chip in it. Same here. Wow, no pressure. 20 liters. Okay, so you're doing all right. Could go with more, so I'll let it go. What are we at? 300 degrees temperature. Fine. Fine stuff for now. Fine stuff for now. Okay. I wanted to put an atmospheric or a filter, steam filter, on the line over here. Oh, I already got the staircases over there. Just need more frames. All right. So what I want to do is turn that off. Depressurize this line. Yeah, this temperature's way too high. The O2 and the volatiles are combusting. So combustor's off. This should be empty. So we're going to turn you off. That's right. What I wanted was, in fact, a valve. A valve is what I wanted. Stop it. ahead and punch you. Valve. We want a valve. Come back for a valve. So made a couple mistakes in my trials. Galactic metallurgy. If I can hit it, I'll bring him down. Oh, I can. Okay. So I need a valve. Auto compost was something. We're almost there. Oh, okay. I got a few frames. Holy crap. Okay. Put the pipes down. Liquid pipes down. Volume pump I didn't need. I needed the regulator. No, I didn't. I needed a bona fide valve. It doesn't even have to have power. Active vent. Here's 3 passive vents. Let's put some of these walls back. Your geometric wall. Here, have some geometric wall. And you're just regular wall. Have some regular wall. Door? No, atmospheric sec somewhere else. Glass sheets. Plastic sheets. I'll keep the steel sheets on me. In fact, I'll grab another stack. Grab that. Okay. Happy with that. Okay, radiators. They take Invar. Okay. Phase change devices. You know what? Perfect. Bam. Blast all those. Atmospherics kit. I'm going to throw that right here. And I think what we got here is good. So let's go back out to the trader door. Go ahead and pull that guy down and see what he wants. Pulling them down, pulling them down. Metallurgy, come here. Come on down to Mars Town. Okay. So we're going to have the one-way valve. Let's have it. One-way valve. Gas. Yep. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can actually do what I'm trying to do with the oh yeah, no, that's. Oh, I wanted a pump. I wanted a pump. I wanted a pump out of the unfiltered. So, okay, we're gonna do brown for unclean. Bet you never saw that coming. Okay, so I have an input here. One way over here. So now I can pull off steam. This, again, will be temporary. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up. How are you doing? Okay, alright. Need a pump. Need a pump. Well, let's see what you want. What do you want? What you want? What you want? Just you really, really want? Ooh, I can still steal. Steal. Oh wait, this is buying. Sorry, selling. Okay. I think I could part with quite a bit of that. Actually, I've already got some of them in there. 600. 600. Coal, sure, I'll go ahead and sell 200 worth there. I don't think I necessarily want to mix or leave anything else there. Stella. Well, that would be $1,000. I'm half tempted. Okay. All right. Well, I do need that at some point. I really gotta do something with it. That's another thing I don't really want. Pretty sure I got some rotten food in there. Maybe I already took care of that. Hard to remember. Okay. Alright, I got everything. So. Stellite I'll shove in the cabinet for now. So I've got plans. Oh. You dumb shit. Well, if I'm lucky, it's backed up. Oh, God. It's gonna be... Well, let's try... Shit, let's just do this. Oh, God. Oh, God. That could have been a lot worse. Okay. I got what I want. What I want, what I want, what I really, really want. And now I need to have... you know, I really need a better way of injecting something into the system. Maybe like before the... no. Shoots. Let's go ahead and do that. Am I back to having a cooling problem again? It is looking like my cooling problem is coming back. But we're at least up to 15 frames, so it's a little bit more doable. BIOS updates must have screwed with my thermal settings. Excuse me. I'm a little confused. That's why that happened. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to close here. Okay, I'm going to do a junction. I think that's fair. There. Now I'll throw it into the silo. could have been a lot worse. Now let's go put the stellite where I intended to put it. Jeez. Safe. From me. And the stupidity that follows. Okay, there's that. Alright, I'm just gonna run out of copper. So, well, yeah, let's do that. Let's just run it out of copper. Pressure. No, flame pump. I just want one. Just want one. And there's that. And I think that's all I want for this. For this project. Which is the steam filter on the waistline. So, let's see where this would go. This would, okay. I could do this. Nope, nope, that. Wait. Does this have a? I'm so confused. I didn't think that was. So, we have active filtration. Continuous filtration. So, 2 megapascals. That's what the input is here. So there's a pressure drop across the valve, which is fine. I don't care. And now, we turn on this. Shouldn't really have too much coming out of it. Except for heat. Alright, so then if I turn this on, so it's definitely combusting. Okay, you're making steam. You're making steam. You're pulling steam. Everything on. Where the heck am I getting NOS out of? I feel like I should be a little concerned about that. And then there's that.
Power low.
Okay. There's that. Alright. And you just keep on trucking. Alright, so there we go. That project's done. That is the steam filter. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look, see if there's anybody interesting here. Okay, there's 3. Interstellar inhalants. Oh boy, that would be nice. Void visions. Are we close enough? Need to double the power. 87 degrees off contact. It's a pretty wide world. So let's swing it 30 degrees one direction. Might even be overkill. Well, the other one dropped off the map entirely. That's should indicate something. Maybe I gotta put this in a dark room or something so it's not being blasted by... what was it, 84? Okay, so that's... Okay, so let's go... So 84 degrees, 100 some degrees. Now I moved it 30. So there's definitely some up and down angles in there. Whoa, right on point. Okay. Got 20 minutes, so I'll run inside, drop what I don't need. And auto compost is actually not too far away. Let's make some chutes. Chutes and ladders. I don't even have to go anywhere. It's right there. Okay, got the face change out of that. Gonna need that. Gonna need those. So I'm gonna need... Okay. Put that there. Brown pipe, brown pipe, brown pipe. Go here. I'm gonna pick you up. Brown pipe right there. Right, let's go with insulated water pipe, liquid pipe rather. Excuse me. 40 silicon. You know what? That actually works. Keeps me from getting too... Whoa! Too crazy with it. Alright, I think that's good. Liquid pipe. Just set that for now. I need to equip this. Oh, got an error. Let's see if this actually can do this. Oh, cool. Let me pull all these back. You are crushed into you. So at the moment, all I'm doing is feeding compost with this. Okay. That's good. So now I can auto feed all of those. Okay. Spring. Larry home. Oh shoot. No, wait a minute. Larry goes to station 1. Can I... Is it possible to just say what station I want to go to? That's not what I wanted to do. So what we got here? We got mushroom seeds. What do you got? You got a shroom. Okay. There's the lever. Okay, so we're gonna let these do their thing. Then I want to plant with a batch of shrooms so I can build up my seed stock a little bit. That's what's my intention there. Okay. Now insulated regular pipe. Boom. Pipe. I don't think all the yellows I think are down in the greenhouse. Call that correctly. There they are. Okay, I got enough of those. You're probably actually setting a little bit. Let's go to. Actually, let's set this at 24, I think. 24. 23? 23, 23. 23 sounds good. Oops. 23. That way, plants can be happy. This is actually probably sufficient for what I'm going to do here. Okay. Full. Alright. So first off, where's the temperature at? 30 degrees. It's climbing because we're steaming some more. Okay. Pop this up. Let's pop this in. Okay, one of these is doing absolutely nothing. Which, I mean, they're hooked up the same way, right? Yeah, so don't have to worry about that. Over here. So if I look here, I think for the most part I see 25K as kind of the practical limit of its abilities there. And there might actually be some math to explain why that is. And I've got 4 phase change devices. So we're going to do this. We're going to tighten it up. Evaporation chamber. phase change. We're going to have a condensation chamber. We're going to have another condensation chamber. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrench a couple of these up. Alright. This is the... Okay, get some liquid hot magma in here. So this should be hot. What was that red I was seeing? I was seeing red, and that was kind of bugging me. I did not grab any. Did not grab any. Okay. Didn't grab any. But that. Where's my? Oh, geez, wrenches in hand. Okay, let's disable this for the moment. Throw that in there. Okay, and then we will do that. Okay. And there's that. Let's grab the wires. We're good. We can pop a set of these in. Okay. Alright, let's set that to 1825. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So I can't possibly freeze. Wrong button. Can't freeze the pollutant. Alright, this should dump. Yeah, temperature's too high is what it is. So I think it gets to a point where I'm actually using up the liquid faster than I can condense it. You can't really tell that here. $201 on this side. $294. Huh. Yeah, that's going out of sight. Okay, pull out the carbon dioxide. Recka-tecka coons. Recka-tecka tunes. Alright. So, getting the data in here. Okay. Oh, I I guess I should not jump the gun here.
Hunger caution.
And pull this out. 5,900. Woo! That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. This essentially just means that it will always condense. Go as high as it needs to. I got a power problem. Wee-hoo! Okay. So let's drop that there. Get that going. Let's just go ahead and... maybe one more. This doesn't need to be on anymore. This doesn't need to be on anymore. $302. What are we doing here? Alright, so we're dumping lots of heat into this, which is good. It's making the radiators more effective because of the heat differential, especially at night. This is coming down slowly. As soon as I shed a big heat load, that's going to be could be catastrophically different. Nope. Not enough sheets. Okay. Fine. Let's just bam. I do not have nearly enough of this. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Because I'm not doing the other side. Yeah, I'm gonna be
Power low.
short. That's okay. I'm gonna be short over here too. About the only thing I'm not going to be short on would be the water pipes, liquid pipes. There we go. I mean, I could do just a little bit more. Okay, get over there. What are we doing for temperature? Alright. So I got more insulated pipes coming, so that'll take care of that. Auto compost. I think we're pretty close. It's not automatic per se, but darn close. Okay. Got a handful of those. Got all of that. How are we doing on cable? I should pull in some cable. Okay. Alright. I guess while we're in here, maybe eat and drink. Let's do that. that in there. And then do that. So let's see. Ah, back up. All right. You're not seating yet. Well, do I have enough oil? I do. I happen to have enough oil. Good golly, hit the door. There's a door. It's pretty bad. You know, I think I'm going to put a pressure plate down in front of the refrigerator door that opens it and closes it. Quite literally. Do-do-do-do-do. Pipes. Probably need more pipes, but let's see what we got. Oh, you know what? Regular pipes. Regular pipes. Kit. Let's see if that narrows it down at all. Not really. As a factor, as a matter of fact, nope. Jeez. Okay. Okay. So. Brown board. Import. Oh, that's the airlock. That's the airlock. Yep. That's the airlock. Okay. So essentially I need 20 per 5 plus 7, 8, 9, 10. There, that'll leave a little bit of room. So let's get that one hooked up. Missed the button. How are we doing on power? Not terrible. Not great, not terrible. Let's start over here. Okay. Let's switch. Okay. So this should add, it kind of stinks, but it's only going to be like, I'm going to say at best 15 kilojoules coming off the system. At best. Shoot. At least now I got room. Can I pull up the cable? I can. Oh, let's try that again. Alright. Can we have... T-junction. Okay. It's kind of terrible. I guess I can deal with no power. Okay, let's go ahead and throw that in. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay. That's taken care of. Alright. That's took and it's already taken care of. So the guys on the end here are going to be momentarily kind of on their own. Okay. So you come over here, and then you come over here. Okay, what are we pulling off right now? 1.1 kilojoules. So if that holds up, so you take 1.1 and multiply by be 18, right? So darn near 20 kilojoules, actually. Hopefully I got enough battery. Okay, it's not blinking yet, so we're good. Okay, so now if I look at this, we're going to be... Alright, we just took 18 kilojoules, dropping it out of the system. Still hot, but we're making progress there. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's take a look at our liquid temperature here. 92.8, 97.7, 93 point, going down. Alright, and over here, we are dropping some heat. Okay, 20.5, 20.2. You're not hooked up. So we want to grab the wrench wherever where that disappeared to. And pop one of these off. Just throw that in there. Okay. And then we will pop one of these off. And throw that there, that there. Yeah. Okay. And there we go. We are going to overload that system. So right now we're pulling 100 kilojoules out of here. pushing it in to here. I don't know if these are able to keep up. Well, if we do the math, it's 11. Wait, why is it 1, 2, 7? Okay, so 70. So 2 more are needed on this side to kind of balance it out. The other thought that I did have is I'm going to have this center section, which actually I want to wrench. Okay, if I do that, then it should be all going through this guy now. No? Okay, let me hopefully this isn't a problem. Okay, now everything's going through there. Alright. Alright, so the thought process here is that I can now cool oh, you know what? I probably should turn this guy off. I don't think I necessarily need it. I didn't even look at the contents. Yeah, we're about half full. How are we doing over here? All right. Lots of working volume. Yeah. So have the ability to cool the liquid. Through means of a woo. All right. Goose fraba. Goose fraba. Yeah, so these are, the temperature's all up pretty high. Except for I notice that the further away they get, it's kind of funny, the lower the temperature. Okay. So we're still up there on temperature. Not too bad. Let's see. 319, you're still hot. You should now be, sinking some heat. You're pretty hot. You're sinking heat. You're also pretty hot, sinking heat. You're the only one that's not too bad. Actually, about lukewarm and curdly. Of course, you're hot, so you're dumping 35 kilojoules of heat in. I think this is... See, I don't understand. Wait, that's gas to gas. Oh yeah, gas to gas. Yep. Okay. So you're pushing heat into this pipe.
Power low.
Technically, you're also pushing heat in. I don't understand why. Oh, I see. I see why you're backwards. Yeah, because this pipe versus that pipe. Gotcha. Gotcha. It makes sense now. Okay. So we've got I wonder if a second system in parallel would... Well, this right here is my problem. This is my bottleneck right here. This being hot. That is my problem. Okay, so one thing I do need to do is design some logic here. So I'm thinking I have the set point, and I would say every degree lower than that set point, we start turning off. Yeah, I think we can do that. I think that'll work. That'll work. And this is put that up, put that up. Insulated liquid pipe, we'll go ahead and throw that over there. Alright, and then regular pipe. Chuck that in there. And counterflow heat exchanger, throw it in with them. Alright. Okay. Happy with that. The other thing I need to do is get some liquid hot magma. So, utility tank. Insulated. Actually, no, it doesn't even need to be insulated. Let's just do regulars. Because they're going to be inside. Whoops. Staring at my toesies. So the thought is that the all the other gases will disconnect should it read too high. For instance, okay, so oxygen, this network is 38.4. I think the limit's 40. It'll disconnect. Carbon dioxide. I think nitrogen. I can't actually get a reading on it because it's not. Maybe I need to put like a little stub. But I think nitrogen was too hot. It is still trying to cool down. Which is why I don't have the amount of nitrogen in this room that I need. But anyway, I'm going to put a bunch of liquid tanks in, probably down here, since this is kind of where I interact with the water the most. And then put a, where the heat exchanger is. Does that make sense? Because I have the tanks are being heat exchanged. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to have a... Maybe I need to have it in both directions. Okay. Probably a little overkill. Matter of fact, I know it's overkill. So what I'll do is I'll pull up. Yeah, I figured it'd be a wrench. 2. Yeah, that's what I'll do. 2. then we have this right there. So we now have a working volume in here. Should I disconnect the water? Which this should stay. Geez. Once I get nitrogen in here, I'm actually gonna keep more liquid water. But how are we doing? Thriving towards fruiting. Okay. Yeah, so I need to put a liquid water tank. So where's... Bad part about that. The bad part about that is I don't really have a good spot for it. So maybe next to where the heat exchanger is. That might make sense. I have the valve is controlled by a air conditioner off the tank. So that's where that comes. I can always do some basic logic I/O. So I have a logic reader, and then we would have a logic writer. No, wait, okay. We would also have to have something. Logic would be a processor. Logic processor. And logic memory. Essentially, I could do that. There's the out to the valve. Can I put? Do I have digital valve? What am I going to need? It's going to need to be a liquid. So let's do that. I need a pipe. I already got the pipe sensor, but insulated liquid tank. So here's the digital valve. Liquid hot magma. Yep. It'll be insulated. So let's do this full simulation here. Yeah, I might as well keep that on me. There we go. So it's gonna go a lot like this. Power and data. So So in is going to be pipe analyzer. Variable, we are looking for temperature. Okay. Logic reader, memory. And this would be 283. Greater than, actually. Should take 2. It's 35 degrees. Oh, there we go. 40 degrees. Anything higher than 40, shut off. Output is... Actually, output would be less. So logic writer. Out goes to liquid digit valve. Goes to on. Yeah, okay. That works very much. Okay. And basically I just need a boatload of insulated pipes. I don't know if I need any more insulated liquid pipes, but I'm going to make 20 of them. I've got the tank. Should have the tank. The tank is right there. Got the tank. Yeah, I can put it down. That's what I'll do. Liquid pipe valve. Okay, so I don't have the... I really need to check that soon, actually. Okay, here's the gas. The nitrogen must have cooled down enough. I'll take a look at that. Which means if that happened, I'd shed a lot of heat load. Potentially. So let's see. We are... Yeah, we're below 38. That should be... Yep, that's on. Cool. Got nitrogen. So how are we doing over here? What's our temp? 20 degrees. Okay. Alright. So I got time. So this is the water. guess if I take the insulated water tank, digital valve. So this is going to be this is too hot. If this is too hot, disconnect that side. That's the thought. So this is always going to be connected to here. I don't need the liquid pipe analyzer, 03. That's for the coolant. So we're going to have over here is logic I/O. I have a reader. Let's go ahead and read that. There's our comparator. No, this. Compare. Do that. Reader, comparator. Memory. And then logic I/O here is going to be the logic writer switch. Nope. No, that is not right. Close, but no cigar. Logic writer. There we go. That's what I want. This will go to switcher. So you're gonna get power. Yeah, I guess. Oh shoot, it's not gonna be able to do that. Yeah, I just have to get power from over here. And y'all. Well, that was a little. Let's snip these real quick. You. Yes, you can be there. Because we need the. What? Logic? Oh. Oh. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're gonna read to 03, power error lock setting maximum ratio. Okay. Lock setting maximum ratio, prefab name hash power 3. Temperature 297. Okay. Alright. Gonna set this to 273 to, let's make it 35 degrees. I think 30. Yeah, I think 30 is probably a good cutoff. So we'll make it 303. Okay, we go here. Logic reader, logic memory. We want less. Okay, in is going to be logic compare, and then the out is going to be hooked up to a digital valve that is not here. Okay, so we need to pull up on.
Power low.
So this should just oh. Okay. There we go. That should be on. So as long as this is low enough, it will always be on. That is not helpful. Okay. What am I doing in here? Yeah. So we got the full water supply here. And if the temperature goes out of sight, this valve will turn off and isolate the plants from potentially hot water. Okay. What are we doing here? 310, 307, 313. Okay, so we're still got lots of heat to dump. How are we doing over here? Oh, we're actually doing good. Oh yeah, that's coming down. That's great. That's great. That is awesome. That means these ought to be doing a lot more. You know, still 100 kilo. 279. All right, you're doing good. 23 degrees. So now I actually got to start thinking about you. Isolate water if hot. Got that. All right. Okay. Also, something I got to think about here. Yeah, so this will shut off and empty this if this temperature's too low. If this temperature's too high, this gets shut off, and we're trying to cool off. Okay. All right. Logic sound. So last thing. Oh wow. I guess I did have a late start because of the stupid computer and internet thing. Is to program up a dial here. And this is the whole cooling circuit, which is getting power off of a transformer over here. So, quite frankly, I don't think there's anything on here that's really power hungry. I think these use like 50 watts each. So in that case, we're going to have the evaporation chambers are what I'm worried about. evap chambers. And those will be numbered. Then the other thing would be the pipe analyzer, the dial, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any other device I need to control at the moment. I may in the future do something with dumping some heat off of these into the atmosphere, like at night. Yeah. 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 Okay. So one thing I do need to do, though, is make sure I almost want to put an area power controller here just to isolate this and all that. Got a whole other idea here. D. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a good thought. Okay. I just came up with an idea for these AC10s for these. If I take the name of the device that it's attached to, so if I name this CO2, it's a filtration device, I can look for a big tank or a small tank with the name of CO2. Use that as temperature. Have digital valves. Maybe even a dial. Pipe heaters. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff that could be had here. But let's not get distracted. Let's go write the code to turn the phase change devices on and off with the excessive overcooling. So my thought process is I want to get that coolant line as cold as possible because I've got it auto disconnecting from the heat exchangers when the temperature drops, so it's not a big deal. Now, do I want to save my... You know what? I am going to save my airlock code. I would say that that one has the airlock code in it. The updated airlock code. So, we will... spinning wheel of death. I don't understand why the script editor is taking so long. It's a little weird. So we're going to define hash evap. And we're going to look up the evaporation chambers. And we're actually going to grab this and start using this. I think this helps keep it a little bit more. So those I have to address by hash. I could theoretically alias pipe sensor D0 and alias dial input D1. Okay, so theoretically I can just set those with a screwdriver and don't have to worry about anything else. So we start with put db0 is going to be hash 00. This is pretty standard. db2 hash 02, put db3 hash 3. I really want to chip that auto. Auto does this kind of stuff. I'm going to go up all the way, theoretically, to 10 or whatever. 9. Just so I have options. I really need to put that into like a notepad and I just bring it over. So anyway, so I've got the evaporative cooler, and this is the name hash that I'm going to be looking up. So we're also going to alias the min temp set point, cur temp set point, or current temperature, and then enable device R2. So what we're going to do for init is to set batch network device hash. It's going to be evap. I'm not going to do on 1. Turn them all on. I'm not going to do anything else than that. Kind of thinking a purge off might be good, but not going to worry about that. Actually, DNS, device not set, set DNS. R15, if the pipe sensor is not set. Branch not equals 0. R15 to init. Set DNS R15 dial input. Again, also back to init. Now I will turn stuff on. Do alias current device. R3. 2. Move current device to 0. So we want to load batch by name. Oh, wait a minute. Current name hash. Gonna need that too. So we want to load batch name. Get current name hash. Device 0 is going to be DB address current device. Load batch network, load batch name, R15. Device hash is going to be the evap coolers, and the hash name is going to be current name hash. Logic type, reference ID, and sum. Just to make sure, we're going to move R15 0. So if this is 0, branch equals 0, R15, we're going to go to main start, restart the loop. So in this case, now we are going to current temp. I forgot to put a yield in here. So now for the work. We're going to load into current temp. Device is going to be pipe sensor dial input. Pipe sensor temperature. Load min temp dial input setting. Okay. So min temp in this case. Now what we're going to do is 1 point, right? Subtract. So min temp is going to equal min temp minus cur device. Now set less than or equal to? Less than or equal to? If the temperature is above this threshold, we want it on. So greater than, yep, okay, so greater than, what's it called? Enable device? Enable device. So as long as A is greater than B, so current temp is above min temp, which is adjusted based on the number of devices. So we're going to go down 1 degree. Okay. So now we're going to set batch by name. Device hash
Hunger caution.
is the evap, and current name hash on is going to be enable device. I think that's fair. And then we're going to add cur device plus 1, then we jump back to main and keep on looping. At this point we can set db setting cur device. I think that's fair. And then okay, so branch greater than max device. A is greater than B. Cur device is above max device. Branch to main start. Just so I don't have. So we're going to define max device as 9. Because that's the last address there. Stack pointer. So if it's 9, it's not going to jump back to main start. If it's 10, it's going to jump back to main start. Okay. Let's go ahead and export this and see just how bad I screwed this up. It's not exactly easy to test. What do I have? What are you set to? State 0? I haven't set you, have I? 303. Okay. Okay. So these didn't. What? What? Wait. That. Huh? I am so confused. All right. We need to pull out the screwdriver. So we need the pipe sensor. Pipe analyzer. And then dial input. Dial. Oh, yeah. You know what? 0, 0. 0, 1. 0, 2. 0, 3. Wait, that's not where I want that to be. Hang on. Not 303. I want 273 is 0. So I want. Let's set 273. Alright, so everybody's still on. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Everybody's still on. So that temperature has to come down. Oh, well, we're doing good. We're not at 12 degrees. 60. We're doing awesome there. Okay. Wow. Doing great. Of course, as these get, there's a long way to go on that one. You're doing okay. You're not doing the greatest, not doing the worst. So I still have a large heat load. I think the only one that it doesn't really have, yeah, you. It's still going down to 10, so still shedding heat. That's okay. Still shedding heat. Very nice. I didn't add all that up in my head. I should have. But we're making progress. So down to 11, 12. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 will be short-lived because it doesn't exist. That's right. Cool. Alright. So in theory, that is correct now. So that's the last thing on my checklist, other than I played around with putting a water loop in a little bit higher, but I don't think that's necessary. I think just expanding the radiator system is all I need to do. Let's see what at this reduced temperature. Whoa, where are we going? We're pulling out of here. Okay, 800 joules. Nothing to write home about. About 400 joule down. So about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got hit by the sun, you can tell, because they're starting to radiate heat, absorb some heat. It's very little, so I don't care. Okay, that works. So I could expand this out if I wanted to, and that would further boost the loss of heat, which is good. How are we doing over here? 1170. Okay, I'm happy with that. You know, I got one more thought. I'm gonna take a bunch of gas utility tanks in that composter room. Wanna think about, because I've got the hot or the volatile coming out of the room. I would love to inject that into
Waste tank caution.
I guess I should crack that open. Insulated pipe utility gas. Pressure regulator. Volume pump. I don't want to do that. I want it to take... I gotta think about how I would want to do that. So I won't get too carried away with that, because it's going to take me some little bit of brain power figuring that out. Okay, here. Good. Regular pipes. Let's see. Analyzer. Throw that in the ground. So I didn't get to write in my auto lathe, but I should be doing okay. Oh, nitrogen's flowing. I like that because the pressure's coming up.
Hydration critical.
Yeah, okay. Yay, we've got flow. We've got some nitrogen flow. And I think the excess volatiles is actually coming out of the... Ooh, okay, hang on. I just thought of something. Another way. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. And I think I probably not going to need anything. My thought, wait, did I call that guy down? I don't think I ever did. No, that's what I get. Let me out. Stellar Steam. Yeah, okay. I'm not playing the game. I'm not playing that game right now. Because I just had a thought related to this. So the volatiles would be coming off of this. So what I should do is start here. That's actually quite high pressure. Ooh, okay. That's... I'm going to have to change the position of that. But... yeah, here we go. So this is going to be... I'm going to have to flip this in a weird way. let's just do this. Can I... But first off, can you go straight through a... No, you can't. You can go through the corner. Weird. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring... Yeah, okay, let's check. Clean there. Close that off. It goes down to 0. Okay, make sure you're down to 0. Okay. So take this.
Hunger critical.
Oops. Okay, gonna go this way with it. Now. Okay, so we inlet. Now, we take the output from here and we further inject it into here to make sure that no volatiles get wasted. Okay. Just feels silly. Silly wiring. Turn that on. That's on. Get that going. Wrong. So we've got this. And that is the atmospheric pressure getting sucked in. And then this should have no volatiles whatsoever coming in. Crack this open because there's a little bit of steam and you never know. So turn you on. Turn you on. Turn you on. So we're going to see. I guess there is a lot of O2 coming in. So this might actually be worse. Because now I am literally blowing all of my volatiles that are coming from this room.
Power low.
So, yeah, that was actually worse. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so back to how we were. Wasting just ever so slight. Well, in this case, it should be O2 rich. Yeah, there's still a little Little frazzle coming out. Because the oxygen's just, or the volatiles coming in are just too hot. The other thought would be to have this just directly feed itself and then have like a back pressure out to the other pipe. That might be it. That might be it. So reconfigure the volatile pipe. Yeah. So have this feed directly into itself here, and if this exceeds a bunch of pressure, doesn't even have to be a bunch of pressure, just a little bit of pressure. 5 megapascals. If it exceeds 5 megapascals, shoot it out into the yeah. Yeah, okay. With a back pressure regulator. Alright. If I can hit the right button. But that's going for now. That's good. You're a tool. Get down there. Alright. I'll take a run out to the phase change devices and see if I've managed to pull the temperature down enough to trip my IC. Maybe I should eat and drink. Maybe I should eat and drink. Come on. Oh yeah, I should harvest Larry too. Let's check that real quick. So how are we doing here? 59. Okay, still dumping heat. How are we doing? Alright, we're down to, what's that, 8 degrees? Okay. Let's go down. Still all on, as you would expect. So it's probably not going to be for another while, because I got that set to 0, so it's got to go down 8 more degrees. Oh, I just thought of a good use. The output off of the H2 combustor could be used in conjunction with a Stirling engine. That might offset some of its stuff. So, okay. Do. Why are you doing the sticky key thing? Oh, there's some seeds. Some more seeds. Okay. Alright. Okay, I think I've got a fair amount of seeds. Go ahead and drop in. You know what? $60 seeds. I think I'm okay with 60 seeds. We will drop this in. Do that. Okay, so next up we're gonna have okay. Shoes, Louise. Okay. We are good to Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. Go make sure that that's on. This is on. Okay. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, yet. 59 degrees. Okay. Holding pretty steady over there. Down to 6 degrees. Getting close. Oh, because of the pressure. Right, yeah. $121. Doing pretty good. 32.5. There's still a lot of heat in there. 331, 24.2. Yep, still a lot of heat in those pipes, but okay, that's good. Let's go check on the composter. Make sure that's still running. I do need to do the auto script on that. Make sure that it's continuously running at this point. Whee! Although I do think reconfiguring it so the volatile pipe feeds itself is the way to go. Inward's very limited, yeah. Okay, it's doing pretty good. Yeah, alright. You're still going, good. Still going. Alright, and then there's one last thing I do kind of want to think about. Get this mushroom. I want to see what it looks like. So I'm throwing the mushrooms directly in. this off. Throw mushroom in. That's a reagent mix. Pollutant's actually up quite a bit. Charcoal. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so that goes straight into charcoal. Okay. Or reagent. Okay, that's good to know. That was one of the things that I was curious about. You guys crashing in already? That is you. It's not perfect by any means. Okay. Now it auto feeds all this in. Okay. Alright. That's pretty much where I was thinking of being for now. I think that will make it a night. So I've got quite a few things done. And I've got at least one little thing for the future. Although I do need to see about putting more radiators in the future, so I can cool much quicker. Yeah, and then maybe the auto lathe. No, I think the garden, expanding the garden out is more important first. And I actually start getting some of the crops going. So, okay, I think I'm going to call it there for the night. And as always, I would like to thank everybody for watching, and we will see you next time.